The elevator at Yorktown Memorial Hospital isn't your average lift. For decades, anyone who has dared to step inside has told stories of terrifying encounters. They talk about its doors sliding open on their own, a heavy presence pressing down on them, and the unmistakable feeling of being watched by something that isn't alive but isn't gone either. But what most people don't know is the dark history of alleged malpractice and death that might be fueling all of this. Legends say this place is a hotbed of paranormal activity, a place where the dead do not rest easy. Thoughtful. Tonight, we're going inside to find out why. We're here to uncover the true terrifying story of the Yorktown Hospital elevator. So, before we even step foot inside, you need to understand the history of this place. Opened back in 1951 by the Felician Sisters of the Roman Catholic Church, Yorktown Memorial was supposed to be a beacon of hope for this rural Texas community. For 35 years, it was the town's main hospital. During that time, it's estimated that nearly 2,000 people died within these walls. Now, that number isn't officially documented, but it's a figure that has been repeated by paranormal researchers and former caretakers for years. A legend that speaks to the sheer amount of life and loss this building has seen. The hospital witnessed everything from polio and flu epidemics to the first devastating years of the AIDS crisis. In 1986, the main hospital shut down, and it spent a few more years as a drug and alcohol rehab center before closing its doors for good in 1992. Ever since, it's just been left to decay, a silent monument to the thousands of stories, and maybe spirits, that are said to be trapped inside. Visitors and ghost hunters from all over the world have a whole catalogue of horrors to report. Disembodied screams, dolls that talk in the nursery, and even the aggressive spirits of nuns who allegedly attack visitors if they have tattoos. But out of all the haunted hotspots in this building, one area is consistently called the most active, the most intelligent, and the most terrifying: the elevator. Some people have described it as the main artery for the hospital's paranormal energy, a mechanical heart that keeps pulsing with a life of its own. Many believe it acts as a kind of ferry, moving souls from one floor to the next, just like it once moved patients. To understand why, we have to look deeper into the stories of the people who worked and died right here. Every haunted place has its legends, right? The dark folklore that gives a face to the fear. Here at Yorktown, one name is always whispered with a special kind of dread: Dr. Leon Nowierski. According to local law, Dr. Nowierski was still practicing medicine here well into his 90s. But the stories that have been passed down paint a pretty disturbing picture. It's claimed that in his later years, his hands were unsteady and his judgment was failing. One of the most persistent and chilling tales is that he once accidentally slit a patient's throat during a routine procedure. While there are no official records to prove this specific incident ever happened, the story has become a cornerstone of the hospital's haunted history. It fuels a larger narrative of suffering where patients came here for help and may have met a tragic end instead. Could the ghost of Dr. Nowierski, or the tormented souls of his alleged victims, be wandering these halls? And the darkness isn't just in the surgical suites. Deep in the basement, in the suffocating heat of the boiler room, is the scene of another local legend, a brutal double murder. The story changes depending on who you talk to, but the main parts are always the same: a love triangle that ended in a burst of violence. While the exact details have been lost to rumour, there is one chilling piece of evidence that is said to remain: human bloodstains on the boiler room walls. Some accounts even claim a former owner had those stains tested by a forensic lab, and the results confirmed they were, in fact, human. Whether it was a murder, a suicide, or just a tragic fight, the story adds a layer of violent, passionate energy to this place. An event so traumatic, it could have easily left a permanent spiritual scar on the building itself. These aren't just ghost stories. They're the grim legends that give the hauntings here a terrifying weight. All right, the sun's gone down and the temperature inside the hospital has definitely dropped. The air is thick and all you can smell is dust and decay. The second you step through the doors, you feel it, that unmistakable sense of being watched. We're making our way through the first floor hallway, and every little sound echoes. Every footstep feels like an intrusion. We're starting with a baseline sweep. Crew. I'm pulling out the EMF meter now. For those who don't know, this device detects changes in the electromagnetic field. In a place with no power, sudden spikes are considered by many investigators to be a sign that a spirit is trying to manifest. As we move deeper, what really gets you is the silence. It's a heavy, unnatural quiet. Over here is the old chapel. People have reported hearing phantom organ music and seeing a dark, menacing figure sitting in the pews. The EMF is flat for now, but the feeling in here is oppressive. You just feel unwelcome. Now we're approaching the central hub of the first floor, right where the main hallway meets the wing with the elevator. And already, something's happening. The EMF meter, which was at a solid 0, is starting to pulse. It's jumping to a 2.5. Now a 3. It's not a huge spike, but it's steady. It feels like something knows we're here. We haven't even gotten to the elevator yet, but the energy is changing. This is what people talk about. It starts small with just a feeling. Then it builds. We're going to set up a static camera right here in the hallway, pointed directly at the elevator doors, just to see if we capture anything. But the real test is what happens when we get closer. We're about to face the heart of this haunting, head on. The stories about this elevator are no joke, and honestly, the energy is already making the hair on my arms stand up. Things could get very real, very fast. If you're enjoying this investigation and want to see us explore more of the world's most haunted places, do us a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss what happens next. This is it. We're standing right in front of the elevator. The power in this building has been off for decades, yet this is the epicenter of it all. The doors are just heavy, cold steel. The floor indicator is frozen in time, stuck between 1 and 2. We're setting up our main gear right here. We've got a full spectrum camera, our spirit box, and the EMF meter. The goal is simple. Find out if the stories are true. Can we make contact with whatever is attached to this elevator? I'm starting a spirit box session. Is there anyone here with us? Can you tell us your name? The box just crackles with static. Then a voice. It's faint, but it's clear. Get out. My heart is just pounding in my chest. Who is telling us to get out? Are you the one who stays in this elevator? Silence again. The EMF meter, which had quieted down, suddenly goes crazy. It's jumping from a 1 to a 5, then back down, over and over. It's like something is pacing right in front of us. And then it happens. A loud metallic clang, startled, echoes from inside the elevator shaft. It was so loud, it sounded like someone dropped something heavy from way up high. We all heard it. There's no logical reason for that sound. The building's empty. The shaft is sealed. We're going to try something. The legends say a shadow figure is often seen inside the elevator car. I'm going to pry the doors open just a little, enough to slide a camera inside. This feels incredibly stupid and dangerous. The air right around the doors is freezing cold. Okay, the camera is in, facing out. We're all crowded around the monitor. It's pitch black, just like you'd expect. If there is a spirit in this elevator, can you show yourself? Give us a sign you are here. For a full minute, nothing, just the crackle of the spirit box and the sound of our own breathing. And then, on the monitor, a shape starts to form in the darkness. It's tall, thin, and it's darker than the pitch black around it. A classic shadow figure. It's standing at the back of the elevator, perfectly still. We're just frozen, staring at this thing on the screen. It doesn't move. It just exists. And as we're watching, the elevator bell, right above the door, lets out a single, deafening ding. That's impossible. There is no power. That bell should not work. The EMF meter is screaming now, a solid, unwavering 5+. The figure on the camera is gone. The air, which was freezing just a second ago, feels normal again. Whatever was here, it made its point. It gave us a sign. and it was absolutely terrifying. We packed up our gear in complete, stunned silence. The encounter at the elevator left us with way more questions than answers. Was that the spirit of a patient? A doctor? Something else? The combination of that voice from the spirit box, the clang in the shaft, the shadow figure, and the impossible sound of the bell is some of the most compelling and chilling evidence we have ever captured. The history of Yorktown Memorial is steeped in suffering and tragedy, from the legends of medical mistakes to whispers of violent murder. It feels like the pain of the past has soaked into the very walls, creating a place where the veil between our world and the next is paper thin. The elevator, for whatever reason, seems to be the focal point of all that energy. We came here to uncover the true, terrifying story of the Yorktown Hospital elevator. But tonight, I don't think we just heard the story. I think we became a part of it. The evidence suggests something is here, and it's intelligent. Whether it was giving us a warning or crying out for help, we'll probably never know. But one thing is for sure, we will never forget what we experienced in the dark, silent halls of Yorktown Memorial Hospital.